All right. Time to confront those who have wronged us. And to defeat the brains before they spread their evil ways to the wasteland. Let's see. Man, this thing didn't even really have anything that good. I mean, the layer. But other than that, not really too terribly much. Could possibly go check out, take a look more at this place here, but pretty much the time has come, boys and girls, to take down those who wrong the world and try to destroy it. But yeah, they're the ones that created the Cazadors, the Night Stalkers, and well, that is just not cool. That is just not cool with me. So that's what we're gonna do. So we'll stop by the balcony, heal up, and then get started. And I don't think the brains are going to be too happy about it. But you don't really see me really complaining all that much. In fact, probably hardly at all. But I am actually going to save here or there. But you'll also notice one thing eventually coming up, as my brain did mention. Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Ooh, and the lighting is not exactly all that pleasant.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped? A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
Alright. And they go aggro. And bye-bye Boros. Bye-bye Dr. 8. And Dr. O. And Dr. Klein. And last but not least, as soon as I drink more stuff here, last but not least, Dr. Dala.
Is that all?
Well then, boys and girls. That is really essentially it. And then there's a movie that comes up, I believe.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic, dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 continued to scan for the subject and the stealth suit prototype long after the test was over. Frustrated and unable to find its lost technology, X-13 expanded its network of laser tripwires, sensors, and robo-brains out across Big Mountain. This glittering blue light beam forest cleanly bisected anything that entered its depths, slicing them into small segmented parts for easy disposal.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The Sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
All right. How about that? That was always kind of enjoyed. Always enjoyed this DLC. a big brain perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head is still cannot be crippled, but you are 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%. And the transportal ponder, which... Woo! No need to thank me. No need to thank me, my friends. It was all worth it. Anyway, in order to use it, we have to go out. I believe we have to go outside to actually use it, but definitely the weapons, the storyline behind it's probably one of the best DLCs ever made. It's quite worth it. But let's go test it out. For some reason, my Elgato decided to freeze on me. And I kind of had a little bit of a mini heart attack. So, pretty much we're back to where we were at before. I had the start of the DLC here, but pretty much the next DLC that I'll be doing, and I'll get started, it's probably either Lonesome Road or the Sierra Madre. Can't remember what that one is for some odd reason. Dead Money, I think it was called, but probably either Lonesome Road or that. Probably the logical next one would be the Sierra Madre, but we'll eventually get around to doing that sometime later. But we'll do some New Vegas quests here. Kind of like pretty much like the Silver Rush quest line there, NCR, then the Yes Man quest line there with the Brotherhood of Steel and the Great Khans. And we'll probably do that one next time we play this game here. But as always, my name is DarthTom, and if you enjoy this video, definitely go ahead and give me a good subscribe button. And if you want to see more content in the future and be the first one to actually see my videos, definitely go ahead and hit that bell thing so that you can actually get notifications from your email, or if you have a smartphone, from your smartphone if you have the YouTube app. But until next time, my name is DarthTom, and I'll